Hi children, welcome to the biozoology class. Let us continue with chapter 1, the living world. Today we will be studying about the history of classification. History of classification. When you look into the history of classification, the organisms were classified into different groups based on the observations made by different scientists. Early classification of organisms were based on two main criteria. The animals were grouped as beneficial animals or the harmful animals. Later on, an ancient classification system recognized 5 animal groups. So, animals were classified as domestic animals, like we call them as the pet animals, wild animals, the animals that live in the forest, creeping animals, the animals which would creep only, flying animals, the animals which would fly in the sky, sea animals, the animals which would live in the ocean. So this was a kind of classification in the ancient time. Later on, the scientists classified the organisms based on their fundamental characteristic features. Some of the organisms were classified based on their habitat, the place where they live, and based on their external appearances. So, initially the classification is based on the habitat and the morphology of the organism. And it was Aristotle who put forward a system of classification. Now, Aristotle was the first to classify all the animals, and he wrote a book on the history of animals, the Historia Animalium, in Latin. Aristotle classified all the living organisms into two major groups, the plants and the animals. Aristotle classified all the animals based on locomotion. He classified animals as walking animals, animals walking on the land called to be terrestrial animals, the animals that were flying called to be the aerial animals, and the animals which were found to be swimming in the water called to be aquatic. So he categorized the animals based on the locomotion as walking, flying and swimming animals. Classified the animals based on the presence and absence of the blood. So he classified them into two different groups, anemia with blood, anemia without blood. Though he classified the organisms into different groups and this classification was being followed for few years, this classification had its own limitations, it had its own drawbacks. According to Aristotle's classification, most of the organisms were not fitting into his classification. For example, the tadpoles of the frog. The frogs are born in water and they have gills. When they undergo metamorphosis into adult frog, they have lungs and they are able to live both in the water and on the land. So there was a question how to classify frogs, where to place these frogs. So that was the biggest drawback in Aristotle's classification. Another drawback in Aristotle's classification. Aristotle classified organisms based on locomotion. Hence he classified the bats, the birds, flying insects in one group based on one of the characteristic feature, the flying ability. But he was not able to classify ostrich, emu, penguin because they were birds which could not fly. So this was another drawback in the classification of Aristotle, where he was not able to group the birds which were not able to fly. In spite of these limitations, Aristotle's classification system was followed more than 2000 years up to 1700. Next comes Theophrastus. He was considered to be Aristotle's student. He continued his research work on classification of plants and he is known as the father of botany. Clear? Aristotle studied the animals, whereas Theophrastus, his student, worked on plants. Hence, he is called as the father of botany. Now comes John Ray. So, there was a huge gap till 16th century. Then, the English naturalist John Ray wrote several important works through his life. So his important contribution was the establishment of species, which was considered to be the ultimate unit of taxonomy. In 1682, he published a book called Methodus Plantarum Nova, which contained about 18,000 plant species, a result of relatively narrow species concept. His complicated classification was based on many combined characters as opposed to the earlier taxonomist. Clear? So after Theophrastus, it was John Ray who contributed a lot, and his work was the establishment of species, which was called to be the unit of taxonomy, and he published a book called as the Methodus Plantarum Nova, in which he wrote about nearly 18,000 plant species. His result was based on some different characteristic features of the plant, and this complicated classification was not understood by many scientists, so they opposed it. Next was Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus was a Swedish biologist. He is considered to be the father of modern taxonomy and the founder of modern systematics. And he was the one to develop the scientific system of taxonomy and binomial nomenclature. The scientific system of taxonomy and the binomial nomenclature is still in use. So, Aristotle to Linnaeus, there were several studies made. Clear? And all the studies were based on the observable single to few traits for classifying the organisms. They were observing each and every characteristic feature, a single characteristic feature to a few number of characteristic features of the living organisms were being observed, and they were being used for classifying the organisms into different groups. Clear? So that was the history. Now let us go into the phases of taxonomy.